So, this is the Angry Reviewer, and today I am bringing you a review on 3 movies that I saw today. The first review I am going to bring you is a review on the Blair Witch. Now, I know many of you are going to be hesitant to watch the Blair Witch, and many of you are going to go in thinking that this is a remake or a prequel or hell, a sequel to Blair Witch 2 Book of Shadows. In this review, I'm going to do spoilers. First off, let me get this out of the way. This Blair Witch is not a sequel to Book of Shadows. Let's just say Book of Shadows never existed. This is the true sequel to the Blair Witch franchise, to the first Blair Witch. In this film, they went back to their grassroots. They went back to basics, and it worked. This is a sequel to the first film where it basically picks up where Heather's brother is looking for her. He was given a tape from someone online, and he receives this tape and he sees this woman in a house, and he assumes that it's Heather. So he gets some local yokels from Burkittsville to take him out into the woods. Him and his friends follow these local yokels into the woods, and pretty much like the first Blair Witch movie, shit starts happening. They start running across symbols created with sticks and string. They start having accidents. People start disappearing. You know how it goes. If you've seen the first Blair Witch, you've seen this one. Except this is the first Blair Witch, basically with more people. But there is a plot twist that, since this is a spoiler review, I'm going to ruin for you. That plot twist is, you can pretty much survive the Blair Witch if you don't look at her in the face directly. If you look at her through a cell phone, a camera, whatever, a mirror, you'll be fine and you'll be able to survive the night. If you look at her in the face directly, and that's when you basically don't survive, you die. She kills you if you stare right at her. And she's good at the Blair Witch is good at doing voice imitations. You're given a small shot of her through the mirror on a camera. I can't really tell you what she looks like because it's a small shot. But yeah, she pretty much fooled one of the people in this film into thinking that it was her friend into thinking her friend was still alive. So when the chick turned around to look at her, she pretty much gets killed. And you just see the camera playing, going over and over again. Honestly, the film is great. I'm not even going to badmouth the film. The film is great. I like it. It's a great psychological thriller. And it's not good if you have claustrophobia, or if you can't handle tight spaces, because that shit starts weighing on you. You're going to be biting your nails all the way till the end of the film, wondering what the hell is going to happen to this group of people next. I highly recommend that you watch this film. The film is fucking great. It really is. And it plays onto your psyche really well. I think it's really well done. If you get a chance, definitely go check out Blair Witch. It's worth it. Okay. The second film I want to talk to y'all about is Snowden. Joshua Gordon-Levitt did a good job as Edward Snowden. Okay, just because he did a good job as Edward Snowden doesn't mean the Snowden movie is actually any good. My personal opinion, it was cool seeing Snowden rise up at his job, in his government jobs, get promoted, get up. And I thought it was pretty interesting that they showed the mindset that this dude had that caused him to leak all that government information that he did to the Russians and the Chinese. And why he felt it was his duty to hack basically the U.S. computers and leak out this information. I mean, you get a feel and you feel for the guy. You feel for Edward Snowden. He had all this pressure from the job, you know, from his civic duty of right and wrong. He had all this pressure for basically everything that he was doing. You feel bad for the dude. You really do feel bad for the dude. The dude had all this pressure put on him. And he snapped. So he did what he did. But honestly, it's cool seeing Snowden work his way up to the government. But when you get to the last parts of the film, it's fucking boring. When the shit's going down, like him rising through the ranks of the CIA and the government and shit, that's like the best parts of this film. Other than that, after that, it will drive you to fucking boredom. It's one of these films that doesn't feel like an Oliver Stone film. You basically, when you walk out of that theater, you ain't gonna really remember it. I mean, you're gonna know who Snowden is because pretty much our government's gonna be talking about him for a while. But this movie ain't memorable. The only memorable person in Snowden is Joshua Gordon-Levitt as Edward Snowden. But that ain't saying much because he can't even save the film. The film gets boring after you see his rise in the ranks in the CIA and NSA and the computer hacking. Once all that's over and it gets down to the brass tacks of the film, basically when it gets down to them talking about at the end Edward Snowden and showing you all this shit, it just goes stale. And it just gets boring. You just wish that they would show an explosion or somebody would make an action film like Enemy of the State but with Edward Snowden instead of what they made. Oliver Stone missed the mark with this film. Let's just say that, guys. He missed the mark with this film. There is so much more better films out there you can see. You don't have to rush out and go see Snowden. Snowden is good, but at matinee price. Anything more and you're paying too much. I'm going to leave you on that note. Anything more and you're paying too much. See it at matinee price. The next film I saw today was Shully. Shully is a fucking great Tom Hanks film. Tom Hanks kills in that movie. Aaron Eckhart kills in that movie. And pretty much Shully is like a Lifetime film. It does feel like that. Like a Lifetime film. Or like you're watching a live action Seconds from Disaster film. It was so fucking cool seeing Shully land the commercial plane on the Hudson River. And it's pretty cool when you see the mindset Shully had and why he made the decision that he did. And I mean, you feel for the guy, because his job, they're basically blaming him. They're saying that he didn't care about computers. He didn't care about the safety of his passengers, even though all 155 survived when he landed that plane in the water. But he could have made it to the airport. When in actuality, there was no way for him to make it to the airport. Both his engines were shot due to birds crashing into the plane and getting inside the engines. They cut him out. There was no way for him to physically make it to the airports that they said he could physically make it to. And, you know, you feel bad for him because they're putting the pressure on this guy, saying it was his lapse in judgment. It was his poor judgment error. When you see this film, you'll understand more what I'm talking about. But I definitely say, see Sully. Sully's one of the best Tom Hanks films. It's right up there with Forrest Gump. I think you'll love it. You'll love Blair Witch, Snowden. It's worth a watch if you're into espionage and intrigue. But don't see it for nothing more than matinee price or hell. It's one of those films that you don't see at all, and you wait for it to go to Redbox, or you pick it up at Walmart on DVD or Blu-ray or something. But that's my opinion. That's Snowden. Sully, definitely watch. Sully, definitely pick up on Blu-ray or DVD. Sully, definitely go for more than the matinee price. And I personally think you're going to love Sully and you're going to love Blair Witch. You ain't really going to like Snowden. You're going to find it boring on the last half of the film. You're going to find it interesting when Snowden's working his way up in the NSA and the CIA. And when you're seeing him training in the army and all that, you're going to think that's so fucking interesting. But after all of that hits and it gets to the point where the film's wrapping up and he's hiding out in Hong Kong, then he's hiding out in Russia. After that, it just feels like the film was just going on and on. That shit, there was shit there that they could have fucking cut out. Pretty much cut out. And you would have been no wise for wear. No worse for wear. It would have been no worse for wear if they cut it out. If they had just ended it with him getting sanctuary in Russia and then just stopped it right there, that would have been fine. But they had to drag it out a little bit more. And it gets to the point where you're looking at your clock and you're like, end already. You know, I got shit to do. End already. So no, I don't recommend you see Snowden, or if you're gonna watch it at matinee price. But definitely watch Sully. Definitely watch Blair Witch. Well, this is the angry fucking reviewer, and I'm out.